Hello there, thanks for joining us here on the Handshake New Vision TV with me, Lynn Komjisha, and we get to see and understand some of these very interesting topics that most of us choose not to look at. Oh, oftentimes we are thinking, that's how things are, you know, you're like, let's go with whatever is going or with whatever is happening. But this is why I have Paul Bushalizi, my colleague here, to help us understand some of these things. And Paul, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, Paul, I had rumors. Sorry, I had rumors. This is why I have you here to help me understand. There's a new law that is yet to be put into place on SACCOS, cooperatives.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
I think what you refer to the Microfinance Institutions Act.
Ah.
It was actually assented to. The president signed it off last year.
Okay.
But July 1st this year is when it was supposed to become operationalized.
Ah.
And this law basically is to bring the SACCOS under some more organized regulatory framework, given that they are growing.
Okay.
Not only in number, they say they're up to 3,000 SACCOS in Uganda today.
Wow. But
also in how much they're beginning to control in terms of deposits, and that's a point of concern. Previously, they were being regulated by the Ministry of Trade, but a feeling is that it's not quite proper regulation. So they have, among other things, the law is going to bring into place the Uganda Microfinance Regulatory Authority, under which these guys will be regulated. But if there are SACCOS which have deposits of more than 500 million shillings, they will find themselves regulated by the Bank of Uganda.
Oh, so that's the deal. They want to bring them under the Bank of Uganda.
As I said, if you have savings of more than 500, you'll find yourself with the Bank of Uganda.
500,000 shillings?
500 million.
Oh, okay.
And if you have less than that, then you'll be this Uganda Microfinance Regulatory Authority.
Oh, so why this now?
As I said earlier, I mean, you know, people are always complaining the bank's lending rates are too high, and strangely, somebody was explaining to me the other day, some people actually have a phobia about walking to a bank to transact business. So these SACCOS, which actually stands for Savings and Credit Cooperative Organizations, are much nearer the people and can actually mobilize these funds, as in collect deposits and lend them out to people at rates that they are much more comfortable with. So in the last few years, these have kind of exploded, of course, because of the high lending rates in the banking sector. They say up to 3,000 SACCOS in whatever shape and form they are all over the country and growing every day. And they're controlling more and more savings. Billions of shillings, some SACCOS have billions of shillings under their control. And this becomes an issue if they're not regulated properly. If they collapse, you know, it can cause widespread problems for everyone. So we need to bring them under control.
Okay, so bringing them under control, what does this mean for those people in these SACCOS and those who would want to join?
I think, first of all, the people who are in the SACCOS, it probably gives you another level of comfort that somebody who knows the business is watching, making sure everything happens well. I mean, for those who will be supervised by the Bank of Uganda, it will boost the confidence in them.
Okay.
Being supervised by a regulator who knows his business. But there will be some additional costs that the SACCOS would have to kind of endure or suffer. But that shouldn't, they're not really onerous costs.
What costs are those?
So for example, there's going to be, every year, going to have a licensing fee. So that means that every year you'll be able to pay a certain amount of money. I think the ones who come under the Bank of Uganda, they'll be paying 2 million shillings every year.
Okay.
To renew their license, so to speak, just like the banks. The banks also, every year, they renew their license. And also they will have to pay, I think it's 0.5% of all their deposits to be administered as they call it a deposit, I think, protection fund. So in the event that your SACCO collapses, you'll be able to get back some of your savings.
Okay.
So and both are kind of, obviously, both are non-refundable. They'll always be in place. So those are costs that were not there before. That some people are a bit wary of. But maybe fortunately you can say coincidentally, you know, in the last budget, the Ministry of Finance has waived all taxes, income taxes,
Yeah.
on SACCOS for the next 10 years. So maybe it won't be so bad.
So should we really be excited about this? Is it something we should really be happy about?
Absolutely, because one of the things the law does is insists, yes, on these SACCOS developing systems within themselves, so they can endure beyond the founders or whatever current management there is, and that's a very useful thing for the sector and for the individual SACCOS.
I think so, because now you'll be able to, in case the SACCO closes down, you'll be able to probably get your deposits back.
To some extent,
yes. To some extent.
It wouldn't be a total loss.
Okay. Wow, so that is interesting. So this is going to cut across all SACCOS? It's
supposed to cut across all SACCOS. Yeah, it is going to cut across all SACCOS, because to start a SACCO, you'd have to register it either with UMRA or with the Bank of Uganda when this law fully goes into operation.
Okay. Wow. I had no idea. I need to belong to one of those SACCOs.
Yesterday.
They're about 3,000. And I have no idea where well, I'll begin with Paul. I think he has an idea where I could start from.
Absolutely.
Yes. Thank you for joining us here on The Handshake. Briefly, that is what we had for you today. And we're really glad that you picked us. And we hope to, you know, keep giving you more and more. Although, you could also send us, you know, an idea of what you would like us to discuss as you view our videos later on. Please be sure to, maybe in your comments, include what you would want us to discuss and look at. I think that would be a very interesting thing for you to get in touch with us. It would be very, very interesting. Thank you, Paul.
You're welcome.